Hello! Welcome to JM's Online Learning Hub. Again, this is teacher Effie. So today, I'm going to share about the 12 verb tenses. So I will give you an overview about these 12 tenses. So let me share with you. So we have here the past tense, the present tense, and the future tense. Then we have the simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. So I will discuss the overview of these 12 tenses. I will give you the detailed explanation in my next videos. Okay, so let's go. So please, I will have a challenge after this lesson. You will have to take the online class and then show me your score. Okay, so let's start. Okay, so the 12 verb tenses, I got it from English Study here. Right. So we will discuss first the simple, okay? The simple tense. And then after that, we will have to proceed to continuous and then the perfect tense and then the perfect continuous. So let's have the simple tense first. So in the simple tense, what we're talking about here, what do we mean by past simple tense? So as you can see the example in the past, okay, these are all simple tenses. So when we say past, of course, example, I studied English yesterday. The present, I study English. The future, I will study English. So what do we mean when we say simple past? So it means to indicate a past habit. So a past habit, take note of that, or an action already completed. So the action or actions are not happening now. Okay, it can also be used with or without adverbs of time. So it's just okay. So again, to use past or simple past tense, this is to indicate a past habit or an action already completed. So as you can see the example, I studied English yesterday. All right. Okay. So we will have another example. I ate pizza yesterday. So you can say that I ate pizza yesterday. Okay. So I hope it's clear. Then let's proceed to the present or the simple present tense. So as you can see the example, I study English. So what is the usage of simple present tense? I study English. So this is to express habits or general truth. Okay? To express habits or general truth. So this is to indicate a future event or a designated date as part of a plan or arrangement. So with mental action, verbs like love, want, need, believe. So these are examples that you may use in the present or simple present tense. So you can also say, I eat pizza every day. Okay. So again, to express habits or generalization, and then to indicate a future event or a designated date as part of a plan or arrangement. Okay, then we have the simple future tense. So the example, it says, I will study English. I will study English. What's the usage? So this is to indicate an action, a condition, or circumstance which has not taken place yet. Has not taken place yet. So as you can see, future. So the actions will be done. Okay? So you have to take the actions first. You have to do the actions first. So I will study English, or you can say, I will eat pizza tomorrow. All right? So again, so the simple past tense, I studied English yesterday. And then we have here, I study English. And then we have, I will study English. All right. So These are the simple tenses. The simple past tense, the simple present tense, and the simple future tense. All right. Okay. So let's go to the continuous. So we have here the continuous. We have the past, we have the present, and we have the future. Okay, let me read the example. I was studying English for the past. For the present, I am studying English. And then for the future, I will be studying English. Now, what are the differences? So when are we going to use this? When are we going to use the present continuous? When are we going to use the future continuous? All right. So in the past continuous, this is to indicate uncompleted action of the past. Okay, again, uncompleted action of the past. So with or without time reference, it's just okay. Again, this is to indicate uncompleted action of the past. So this is to indicate persistent habits of the past with always, continuously, forever, etc. You can use that. You can say, I was eating pizza when you arrived. Okay. So as you said, I was eating pizza when you arrived. So it indicates uncompleted action of the past, and it can also indicate persistent habits of the past with always or continuously forever. All right. So now we have here the present continuous. For the present continuous, when are we going to use it? Okay, so this is to indicate an action going on at the time of speaking. So the action is going on right now. I am speaking. The action is going on. So I'm going to say, I'm eating pizza. I am eating pizza right now. Okay, so that is, as you can see, it indicates an action. Okay, indicates an action going on at the same time of speaking. So I am speaking right now, and I am eating pizza. So that is the usage of present continuous. The moment you say it, the action is there. Okay. And it can also indicate temporary action, which may not be happening at the time of speaking. So again, temporary action, which may not be happening at the same time of speaking. And then it can also be with a habitual action verb, especially to indicate a stubborn habit. So for example, temporary action, but it's in the present situation. So that is considered present continuous. Okay. And then we have the future continuous. When are we going to use this? I will be studying English. When will I say it? What's the time to say it? Okay. So I will be studying English. As you can see, we are be here. Okay. So this is to indicate what will be going on at some time in the future. So what will happen tomorrow? What will happen the following day? What will happen the following month or next year? So this is to indicate what will be going on at some time in the future. So to indicate planned future events. Okay, so you plan what will happen next week. I will be going to blah, blah, blah. Okay, or an example, I will be eating pizza when you arrive. So I'm not eating pizza now. I will just eat pizza when you arrive. I will be eating pizza when you arrive. Or I will be studying English tomorrow. Okay, you can say that. Okay, so that is for the continuous tenses. So let's go to the perfect tenses. So, oh, what is this? When are we going to use this one? So that is the question. As you have here the example, I had studied English. What's the use? When will I use this? Why? Why do you add had? So that's the question. Why do you add? So why do you add? I mean, why do you add had there? Okay, in the past perfect, as you can see, I had studied English. When to use this one? So this is to indicate a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place. Again, so you are going to use the past perfect to indicate a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place. Example, another example. I had eaten all of the pizza when you arrived. So before my son arrived, I had eaten all the pizza already. So that is to indicate a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place. So before this event, before my son arrived, I had eaten all the pizza. Okay? So again, I had studied English. I had studied English before science class. All right. So you completed in studying English before you started your science class. Okay. So that is for the past perfect. You use had. Had there is in the past, singular or plural, it's in the past perfect. Okay. So we have here the present perfect. I have studied English. Have, take note, I have studied English. As you can see, this is had and this is have. Yes, we are going to use had if it's past, singular or plural, had. Okay? And then we are going to use have, plural, plural in the present situation or present tense. So as you can see, I have studied English. So when are we going to use this? So to use this is to indicate past action which is not defined by a time of occurrence. Okay? So again, this is to indicate past action which is not defined by a time of occurrence. All right? Or to indicate an action which started in the past and has continued up until now. So the action, for example, I have studied English. I started to study English 2 months ago, and up to now, up to this time, I'm still studying English. So that's the time we're going to say, I have studied English. Okay, so to indicate past action which is not defined by a time of occurrence. So is another example. I have eaten all the pizza. All right, I have eaten all the pizza. So again, to indicate an action which started in the past and has continued up until now. Okay, that is for the present perfect. Now, we'll have the future perfect. Hmm, when will I use the future perfect? Take note of this one. I will have studied English. What's the use of will? Well, when we say future, we're going to say will. So, but what is the usage? What is the perfect timing? When are we going to use this one? I will have studied English. So, this is to indicate an action that will be complete before another event takes place. So, you have to complete this before another event. I will have studied English. I will have studied English. Or you can say, I will have eaten all of the pizza by the time you arrive. So I have to take all the pizza first before you arrive. That is the future perfect. Again, when are we going to use the future perfect? This is to indicate an action that will be complete before another event takes place. So there is a must. You have to complete this action first before this action. Okay, so that is for the future perfect. Okay, then we have the, all right, we have the perfect continuous. So, it's getting complicated now. No, just let us understand the usage. Okay, so perfect continuous. As you can see, the past, the past perfect continuous, I had been studying English. I had been studying English. So, oh, when are we going to use this? When shall I say this? Okay, so that's the question. So, to indicate an action in the past that began before a certain point in the past and continued up until that time. All right, again. So, this is to indicate an action in the past that began before another certain point in the past and continued up until that time. Okay. Another example of this, I'm going to say, I had been eating pizza for 2 hours when you arrived. So, as you can see, I had been eating pizza. I had been eating pizza. So, that is the perfect continuous, the past perfect continuous. And I indicate there the time for pizza for 2 hours when you arrived. Okay? So, that is indicating an action in the past that began before a certain point in the past and continued up until that time. So I had been eating pizza and then you arrived. Still, I ate pizza. So the two actions together are there. Okay. Next, we have here the present perfect continuous. I have been studying English. I have been studying English. When will I use this? Remember, when we are going to use have, that is in the present time. So since I use have here, I is singular, but have is always the partner of I when we are going to talk about perfect continuous or present perfect continuous. And this is had because it's in the past. So I had been studying English. When to use this one? So this is to indicate an action which started at some point in the past and may not be complete. Again, this is to indicate an action which started at some point in the past and may or may not be complete. Example, I have been eating pizza for 2 hours. I have been eating pizza for 2 hours. So in that sentence, I indicate an action which started at some point in the past, okay, and may or may not be complete. Okay, that's it. I have been studying English. Next, we have the future perfect continuous. So I will have been studying English. I will have been studying English. When to use this? This is to indicate an action, okay, that will have happened for some time and will not be complete yet at a certain point in the future. Again, when are we going to use this one? This is to indicate an action that will have happened for some time and will not be complete at a certain point in the future. I will have been studying English, or shall I say, I will have been eating pizza for 2 hours when you arrive. Okay, so that is the overview of the 12 verb tenses. So don't worry about the detailed discussion on this thing because my next videos will be about detailed explanation on the about simple tense, the continuous, the perfect continuous. So again, when we say here past, present, future. So as you can see the example, okay, read the example. I mean, look at the example first. All right. Okay, let's go back a little. Let's go back a little. When are we going to use them? So we are going to use simple past, simple present, simple future. Oh, let me read the example first. I studied English yesterday. Simple past. Present, I study English. Future, I will study English. So when to use this? This is to indicate a past habit or an action already completed. The action already completed. Or can be used with or without adverbs of time. So this is the adverb of time. So you can simply say, I studied English. I ate pizza. All right? So that is for the simple past. Now for the simple present tense, I study English. When are we going to use this? This is, let me reduce the size or enlarge. All right, okay. So we have here, I study English. For the simple present tense, when to use this one? This is to express habits or general truth. So this is to indicate a future event or a future event on a designated date as part of a plan or arrangement. So with mental action verbs like love, want, need, believe, etc. So I can also say, I eat pizza every day. Okay? I eat pizza every day. I study English every day. So that is to express habits or general truth. So now, future tense or the simple future tense. I will study English. When to use this? This is to indicate an action or condition or circumstance which has not taken place yet. So the action is to be done, to be taken place yet. Okay. So, I mean, has not taken place yet. So that's it. Future, you have to do the action tomorrow, the following week, the following month. So that is for the future simple. Okay. Now, how to form the continuous? The continuous tenses. I was studying English. I am studying English for the present. I will be studying English for the future. So I was studying English. When to use this? This is to indicate uncompleted action of the past. Okay? Uncompleted action of the past. It can be with or without time reference. So this is to indicate also persistent habits of the past. Persistent habit of the past. Example, another example, I was eating pizza when you arrived. Okay, so I was studying English. Then, for our present continuous, so I am studying English. Studying English. So this is to indicate action going on at the time of speaking. Again, to indicate action going on at the time of speaking. So to indicate temporary action which may not be happening at the time of speaking with a habitual action verb, especially to indicate a stubborn habit. So that is the continuous tense, present continuous. Then we have the future, the continuous. I will be studying English. I will be eating pizza when you arrive. So this is to indicate what will be going on at some time in the future. What will be going on, okay, at some time in the future. So this is to indicate planned future events. So I will be studying English. I will be enrolling in your class. I will be closing the door. So you have to do it in the future. Okay. So that's it. What will be going on at some time in the future. So this is to indicate planned future events. Now, let's have the perfect tense. When to use perfect tense? That's the question again. So, perfect tense example, I had studied English. I had studied English. So, to indicate a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place. Again, this is to indicate a completed action of the past that happened before another event took place. Okay. I can also say, I had eaten all the pizza when you arrived. Okay. Then we have the perfect present tense. I have studied English. I have studied English. So when to use this one? So this is to indicate past action, which is not defined by a time of occurrence. To indicate past action, which is not defined by a time of occurrence. So this is to indicate an action which started in the past and has continued up until now. So that is the present perfect tense. To indicate an action which started in the past and has continued up until now. I have eaten all the pizza. Okay. Then let's go to the future perfect. I will have studied English. I will have studied English. So when to use this? So this is to indicate an action that will be complete before another event takes place. Okay? To indicate an action that will be complete before another event takes place. I have studied English, or I will say, I will have eaten all the pizza by the time you arrive. So it means, no more pizza by the time you arrive. So I will have eaten all the pizza by the time you arrive. Okay, so that's it. And then the last, we have the perfect continuous. I had been studying English. I had been studying English. When to use it? What's the usage? So this is to indicate an action in the past that began before a certain point in the past and continued up until that time. Or I will say, I had been eating pizza for 2 hours when you arrived. I had been eating pizza for 2 hours when you arrived. So two actions were done. I had been eating pizza for 2 hours, then you arrived. All the actions were finished. So eating pizza and arrived. Okay, I had been eating pizza for 2 hours when you arrived. Okay, so all the actions were completed in the past. And then in the past or at the moment you say it. Next, present perfect continuous. I have been studying English. I have been studying English. So when to use this one? So this is to indicate an action which started at some point in the past and may or may not be complete. Again, this is to indicate an action which started at some point in the past and may or may not be complete. Example, another example. I have been eating pizza for 2 hours. So it means I started to eat pizza in 2 hours. I mean, 2 hours before. And at the time I speak about it, the action is ongoing. So that's it. That's for the perfect continuous in the present time. So to indicate an action which started at some point in the past and may or may not be complete. And then the last, we have here, I will have been studying English. I will have been studying English. So when to use this? This is to indicate an action that will have happened for some time and will not be complete yet at a certain point in the future. Again, this is to indicate an action that will have happened, okay, for some time and will not be complete yet at a certain point in the future. So two actions are going to happen in the future. But the first action will have happened, okay, for some time and will not be complete yet at a certain point in the future. Okay, so try to observe how to form them in the simple tense, simple verb here. Studied, study, will study. And then for the continuous, we add ing, and then we have the was, and will here, will be, the be verbs. The was, the and the be, will be. So we call them be verbs. So I was studying. Here I studied, I was studying. I study, I am studying. I will study, I will be studying. So see the differences on how to form them. And then for the perfect continuous, I mean for the perfect past, we have to remember the had, the have, and will have for the future. So had for the past, have for the present, and will have for the future. And then for the perfect continuous, you have to add been here. Been, been, been. All right. So study, was studying, had studied, had been studying. Study for the simple, am studying for the continuous, have studied for the perfect, have been studying for the perfect continuous. And then for the future, will study for the continuous, will be studying for the perfect, will have studied. And for the perfect continuous, will have been studying English. Okay, so that is the presentation or an overview of the 12 verb tenses. Okay, the 12 verb tenses. Okay, guys, my next videos will be about each tense, and I will give you more examples for better understanding. Okay, so wait for the quiz. I will prepare, I will open for the quiz. So just I will direct you to my quiz. Okay? So thank you so much for listening. I hope I am able to help you about the form and the usage of the 12 verb tenses. So wait for the online quiz and I hope you will get perfect score. Hi, I'm back. So my quizzes and exercises are ready. So, well, I just hope my presentation was clear. That was only an overview of the 12 verb tenses. Again, the following videos will be the specific or the detailed explanation of each tense. Okay? So I will give you enough time to try to answer the exercises or the questions there. There are choices, but do not rely too much on the choices. So maybe the answer or the correct word cannot be found from the choices given. So just think about it. Okay? So I hope you enjoy. So here's the quiz. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. So you only have 25 items. The answers of this exercise will be given to you on my next video. So bye for now. Hope to have you next time. And please don't forget to subscribe and press the notification bell for you to be notified when I have new videos. So this is Teacher Effie signing off. Thank you.